And keeping it rolling, the second fight on the card, we got Jamall Emmers versus Gabriel Miranda. Gabriel Miranda, 3 UFC fights so far, and to his credit, I mean, they've all been entertaining. He's 1-2 in those fights, yet to see the scorecards. So, lost his debut to Benoit Saint Denis. That was short notice, so not too much shame there. And he did bounce back with a 59-second submission win, but last fight got knocked out for the second time in 3 UFC fights by Morgan Charrier, and I think his job could be on the line Saturday, so a win is paramount, or at least a good performance. And Jamall Emmers, coming back, he hasn't fought in over a year. He got knocked out by Nate Landwehr's last fight, and it made him want to sit down, recover, reevaluate a little bit. He was on a nice little run before that loss, and he was coming off a really quick knockout win, so he was in a good point in his career, and it seemed like that was his kind of taking off fight, and he couldn't get over the hump. So he needs to kind of figure it out here and get this win in dominant fashion and try to get back into that top 15 mix quickly. But 35 years old now, I'm a little bit worried about mentally where Emmers is at this point, and if he's taking this fight seriously or he's just trying to cash out. But I feel like he has another run in him if he's still has the fire. We're just going to have to see. But he's a beast. I mean, Jamall Emmers at his best is very fast, long reach, nice feints. He walks guys down, and he'll throw some kicks out there, wait to pull counter. His head movement could be a little better, but he has great reflexes. So in boxing range, he'll slip and rip with jabs, nice straight punches, good offense in the clinch too with knees, elbows. And his wrestling ability is solid offensively and defensively. And in this fight, I think use the wrestling in reverse, keep it standing, don't follow Miranda to the ground if he tries to pull guard, and don't try to take him down. And he isn't a slouch on the mat himself, though. I mean, he has decent grappling, but he's had fights like versus Pat Sabatini where he was the far better fighter on the feet. He dropped Sabatini and then ended up falling him to the ground and getting submitted. So he just needs to show evolution in his fight IQ, which has costed him in some fights, and he has been finished 5 times. So when you beat him, you usually have to knock him out or find the submission. He's 9-3 in decisions, and all 3 of those decision losses are splits too. And if you look at the 2 decisions he's had in the UFC that he lost to Giga Chikadze and Jack Jenkins, a lot of people felt like he won those fights. And Miranda, his opponent, is a guy that goes after it right away. He's much slower on the feet than Emmers, but he's wild. He'll use that to close the gap, and he does throw some straights, some left hooks, and he'll stab the front kick. So you have to be aware on the feet, but I think he's going to be at a huge speed disadvantage here and likely is only going to be dangerous for a short period of time. He has subpar wrestling, but he really commits hard early. He'll even pull guard. So if he can get you down, he's going to try to gun for the back and find the choke. And he got a rear naked choke in 59 seconds for Shane Young in his 1 UFC victory. And his record is pretty crazy. 16 submission wins. 14 of the 16 have been in the first round. He also has 1 knockout win, which is also in the first round. So he has 15 first-round finishes, and 13 of his submission wins came in under a minute and 30 seconds. So he's blitzing these guys out of there most of the time when he wins. He's only 2-7 in fights that have gone past the first round, 0-4 in decisions, and he's been finished early in round 2 in both of his UFC losses. So I think if Miranda can't finish him early, especially with this fight being at such high elevation, I think he's going to get tired, get stopped. And, you know, he's had moments in all his fights. Like, he took down Benoit, and he was able to take the back of Morgan Charrier at some point. So I feel he might have one chance to win this fight, and if he gets the win, it's going to be a finish. But if he doesn't, I think he's going to kind of teeter out and get finished late round 1 or in round 2, and Emmers is going to knock him out. So my prediction is going to be Jamall Emmers by knockout.